I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure I don't die unnoticed. That design is storytelling.
Yeah. I mean, it's Arushi heading the club, so that's weird.
Hello, and welcome to the ECC Odyssey, where people meet stories. On this podcast, we converse about the amazing people of ECC, their journey, and interests. Get the inside scoop on the happenings of campus, the behind the scenes of the clubs, and what's in store. For all this and much, much more, stay tuned, strap in, and enjoy the ride.
Today's guest is someone who inspires and amazes all of us with her intricate, complex, and yet simple looking art pieces. Known for her artwork campus wide, any beautiful poster that you see, and it's probably her work. She calls herself a creative permanent marker ready to make a mark, and so she does. Currently leading the design club of EC Campus DSGNR and the design head of Hackerspace and my most favorite club apostrophe, introducing the very talented and sweetest Arushi Upmanyu.
Hi, thank you for having me. That was such a humble introduction. Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll start with Hi Arushi, how are you? How's
Um,
college going?
It's going well, decent. I mean, it's our third year, so I guess it's the last semester to enjoy.
Very stressful?
Definitely. I mean, the amount of assignments and lab work, I guess.
Yeah.
But
It
there's
just gets
still,
to you.
but there's always some amount of fun, enjoyment,
Yeah.
relax.
I mean, obviously, especially if you've spent 3 years with the same batchmates, you're just so familiar with the environment. It's really good. It's going good.
So much of your running around stems from this one thing that you love doing, which is design.
Uh,
So, what is design to you, and why is it so important?
so design is more of a way to tell stories, right? So it's a peep into how humans behave, their psychology, and what's the first thing they think of doing. Design is more on reframing and constructing that sort of behavior of humans. And that's what's interesting because it's applied in every field that you see. Be it engineering, you have design of algorithms, right?
Yeah.
And be it architecture, it's completely design oriented. So yeah, that's what design is to me.
That's lovely. But did you start doing design when you got into college? Have you been doing it for a while? How did you find your passion for design?
Okay, so I didn't know design was my passion until second year. So I did a lot of sketching when I was a kid, drawing competitions and stuff like that. And I'd always look at it as a hobby. But I think once I didn't even know there was a field such as bachelor's in design. So once I got into university and I joined Hackerspace, HSP now. So I joined that club. It was my first club, and I joined Apostrophe alongside it as well.
Yeah.
And I was just very curious to know what design is. And before that, I didn't even know Canva existed. So it's been
Oh,
such.
oh god, the transition.
Yeah, I swear, I didn't know what Canva was, and it's been an immensely high, rate of learning. Like the learning rate has been intense in this past 1.5 years, 2 years. And yeah, that's how I got into design as a potential career field, maybe along with tech. So yeah.
You've mentioned apostrophe, and I've read some of your poetry, and it's so beautiful. And I see the design, and I see the poetry, and I see they're intertwined so well. I mean, how does it come to you? What inspires you to write like that?
Yeah, well, I think the first sentence I said was that design is storytelling.
Yeah.
So I think both of them are not separate to me. Again, when you're writing, even when you're writing, it may be poetry, it may be an article that you're writing, or an essay for that instance, right? So you always need to structure that essay in a way. You need to structure your story. That again is design. So I think that what motivates me to combine these two streams is that they're very alike if you look at them closely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you just you wing it after a point. Do what your heart says.
What is your design philosophy in like maybe one statement? What would you say?
One statement.
A couple of statements. We don't mind the longer the better, but
Design Okay, yeah, I have a really good one. I'm not sure if this exists as a quote, but design is never perfect. And if it's perfect, it's not design.
Oh, that's actually so true.
That
I
is
think
Yeah.
the imperfections in the design makes it so perfect. And
Absolutely. Because
yeah.
design should be a reflection of how humans think, because that's one part we have as humans to perceive our surroundings and create something which is very creative and unimaginable, right? And put it in front of us and show people what we can do. And that's what it is, you know. So if it's perfect, for example, a machine makes the perfect circle, it's not design, it's a circle. That's just a shape. But giving soul to the shape is what a designer does.
I think our emotions, the state of mind that we are in, all of that flows into whatever we write or or anything that you're designing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yep. Feelings, emotions play. Exactly. Feelings, emotions, human psychology, they're all very interlinked with design. Even in a domain like UI UX, which is pretty technical in itself, there's always an introduction of how humans think. The main point of UI UX is to create user centered designs, which is essentially making designs intuitive to humans. So they don't even have to think about what they're doing. And that's a good design. Yeah.
What's your creative process? Like, if I were to give you like a blank slate, how would you start? Because I think most people struggle there, and you always have the most creative ideas. I've seen your presentations, and I'm mind blown. I'm like,
I mean, the posters that Arushi comes up for
Yeah.
apostrophe events, like she never. It's just so good.
Everything from posters to Maya banners to just the ideas that she has.
My
How do you
God.
start with the blank slate,
I
Arshi?
am so honored. Like, thank you so much. But trust me, I still have so much criticism for my work. And I think the best critic for one's work is themselves. Okay, coming to answering your question. So I start with a blank canvas, right? You give me a blank canvas, a blank page, or a blank screen, right? How do I start? Well, I don't know. If I'm being extremely honest, I struggled with this a lot. So when I was a kid, I used to trace. You know, you used to get those books where you have a transparent sheet on a drawing and then you trace an outline over
Yeah,
those
yeah.
books. So I used to trace. And later on, I used to copy other drawings to draw, right? To increase my precision and stuff. So because of those things, I sort of stopped thinking on my own because I always looked for a reference while drawing or while designing. I always looked for a reference and it never really came from within. So, the seniors actually helped me overcome this. So, the previous design head of like the previous head of designer, his name was Chaitanya, and even Kiran Mai. So, all of them, I think they played a very big role in helping me cross that. So they would randomly give me a picture of like a scene, especially Chai. So he would show me a photograph or like a random scene, and he'll say that, go ahead, draw it. And it would be the most imperfect, messed up piece I would come up with. But I think that really got me started. And yeah, even when you give me a blank canvas, I think the first step everyone looks at is mood boarding, looking at different color palettes and typography, trying to find the mood, right? Again, feelings and emotions of humans.
Everything stems from there.
Yep.
You were
So,
talking about criticism, actually. I'd like to go down that tangent. How do you deal with criticism? Because as a creative field, I think it's very, very hard because it's very personal to you. So, how do you deal with criticism?
yes, every design that I make, I feel like it's like my baby, you know. It's very close to me, and I think that's the case for every single person who does anything, right? Be it for you, for example, Alekia, you write so much, right? Every piece that you write, it's so close to you because you've
All the
written
time,
it,
yes.
right? So it's just that while it is close to you and while you know that okay, it's something that I've put my heart and soul into, you do have to realize that especially in the industry, you design not for yourself, you design for others who will be using it. So if there is someone who's criticizing your work, you probably need to take it with a salt, pinch of salt. And I've struggled through this. I have freelanced a lot, and there were a lot of times where I was like, I don't want to take in the changes that they've told me to make. But then I've realized slowly, gradually, that yeah, you're doing it for the client. And if they're not satisfied, it doesn't make any sense. So,
Talk us through
criticism.
this freelance journey and how's that been? How do you approach that? How do you get there in the first place?
Oh, okay. So I got into freelancing through, again, seniors and the connections, the sort of connects that I built, uh, especially through the club culture in our campus. I think that's like the biggest network that we have as students. So so one of the seniors recommended me to a startup, and yeah, it just goes around. If you do a lot of work, say for the clubs, and if people are liking it, I think it just goes on about approaching other people. So they come to you and ask, "Are you free? Do you want to try out something new?" And I think that's where you have to define or like prioritize and be like, yeah, okay, I have time for it, or I don't have time for it. So yeah, it's mainly the connect that college provides. Word of mouth,
Right.
your work speaks for itself.
Talking about clubs, let's talk about designer because you've been part of designer for a long time. You've been amazing at heading it. So talk us about what your idea of designer is. What does it do and why does it exist?
Oh wow, that's deep. So I was part of designer since my first year, and that was mainly because at that time it was all online, right? Because of COVID and everything. Like the clubs didn't have offline events, so I just randomly, sent in a few of my designs to the club, and they liked it, and they're like, yeah, come on board. And then the next thing I know, I'm the head because they were fourth years and they were leaving. So the next thing I know, I'm the head, and I'm like, oh my god, now what do I do with a club?
When we're still figuring out college and how everything works, and suddenly the responsibility of being
Yes,
head.
but the best part about this was I had one of our seniors. He's currently in fourth year, Advait. So he was the club co-head alongside me. So it's sort of like he babysat me through the entire process. But I think I look at designer as this huge community with really talented individuals, right? They are crazy, like literally good sort of crazy when it comes to creativity. Like there should not be any sort of restrictions, and I think that's been the goal I have had for designer since I started. A space where they can be themselves and express themselves without people telling them how to do stuff. Yeah, and be it in anything, be it in physical art, charcoal art, be it in digital art, anything. So yeah, we have a lot of exciting plans for designer.
Can you spill some
You can
beans
spill
about
some, yeah,
it?
a little bit.
I mean, nothing's approved as of now, but we are looking at painting a few walls on campus.
That would be lovely.
Graffiti.
Yeah, sort of, or
Okay.
wall painting, let's see. And we're thinking of getting a design lab with the Adobe Suite licensing. Again, it's again cross cuts. We don't know what's going to happen.
We're on your side. if it
Fingers
happens,
crossed, fingers
yeah.
crossed, yes.
Yes. So just stuff like that. I mean, we have a lot of stuff planned, and I've already I'm in the transitioning to give the club to the juniors.
That's a hard pill to swallow.
It is, but I think looking at them take up the initiative and being proactive, I think that's like the most heartwarming feeling.
Yeah, you feel glad that the club is going in responsible
Yeah, you feel
hands.
satisfied that okay, the amount of work that we have put in, we trust the other, like the juniors to take it up and take it forward and beyond our imagination. I think that's the case for every club.
I'm not. I think she'll know how it feels to hand something off to someone else.
It's an amazing feeling. I mean, sure, you'll feel weird about not having work,
Yes.
but But I think we all need to prioritize after a point. And you know how you look at a baby walk for the first time and you're scared that it's going to fall. Whenever the juniors take up the work, I'm like, I want to be there for them. Like, help them out throughout the way so that they don't fall, they don't go through the experiences that we had to. I mean, if there were any bad experiences, but
All right. I think there's a designer event coming up. Do you want to talk about it?
oh, sure.
Yes,
This
please
is
go ahead. Please
my
do.
God. Okay, promotion.
Yes.
So the event is called Brandefine, and this one is very close to my heart. I came up with the idea in my first year. It's essentially a design hackathon, something that previous university hadn't seen at all. And I think we were the first ones to come up with such an idea of for an event. So it's called Brand Define It, defining a brand identity, essentially. And it's a platform for designers all across Bangalore, be it from design colleges or engineering colleges, anyone who is interested in design. They need not be in B design, right? Because that's just a restriction you have. So anyone who is interested in design, they come, we give them a brief, and they design a brand visual identity from the logo, color palettes, typography to promotional materials, advertisings, marketing materials, everything. It's like the complete package. If they it's a packaging product, then I mean the packaging for that product, right? So it's all about that, and it's pretty interesting because yeah, we had some pretty good iterations the last 2 years. So we're hoping this one is good. It's on 23rd March. It's this Saturday. So
Awesome.
yeah.
I've seen the merch and I think it's very pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you like the idea of drawing or sketching on a newspaper? Did you see?
Oh yeah, all the promotion was very creative. I was very very impressed. Yes. Always the most creative ideas you guys come up with.
I mean, it's Arushi heading the club, so.
The credit goes to the team. They have been working themselves a lot, and I'm so proud of it. So yeah, I think it's time to give them the club.
I think it's more like you mention your mentors, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
everyone else.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna look at you the same way.
Hopefully.
I am sure. So college is coming to pretty much close. There's about 5 weeks. 5 weeks
Five-
left.
5 weeks. I mean, irrespective of ISA and all that, this is 5 weeks as normal college students. How do you feel about that?
Phew.
Yeah.
It's been a journey, and I am scared about the future. Like, I have no idea what I'm going to do, but whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure I don't die unnoticed. I don't know what's
I love that.
there.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in store for me in the future, but college is a part of our lives, and it's just 4 years of our average 80 years of life. So it's definitely been a journey.
But it's the most memorable.
Definitely, I mean the
4
amount
years.
of growth all of us have shown in the past 3 years.
It's
Damn,
incredible.
we are like different individuals. I wouldn't talk to a single person in Sem 1.
Oh, that
I was
yeah.
such
same.
an introvert. And now I just, even through the corridors, I'm like, hi, how are you? Good morning.
Yeah, running into everyone like
Yeah.
in short take. Yeah,
I
it's
think-
fun.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, I'll miss that. But, well, it's fine.
What's one thing you're gonna miss the most? You think?
I think the people, the company, the time I spend with them here. It's not college. Doesn't have to be only about classes and studies.
It's the people you meet.
Yeah, it's much more than that. So yeah, it's the people, definitely. The company, the fifth floor Maggie.
Yes, that's definitely one of the biggest things we're going to
Bun
miss.
samosa.
Ah, yes. So is there? Okay, I can go ahead.
If you had any advice to juniors, what would that be?
Be as creative as you can. Like, don't limit yourself. I think that's
In any art form,
yeah,
right?
in
Whether it's-
anything.
yeah.
Be it even like in tech, right? If you're a computer science student, why limit yourself? Try to merge that with different domains. Explore, because if you don't explore now, when are we gonna explore? Like, when? So it definitely has to be now. Do it now. Like, I mean,
Just
if someone
do it.
just do it, like Nike, just do it.
Awesome. So we do a rapid fire segment.
Oof, okay.
Very short rapid fire.
Very
short,
like coffee,
quick answers.
coffee with Karan.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. Your favorite place to hang out in college?
Oh, fifth floor canteen.
With the Maggie.
Yeah, like perfect. The wind, Maggie, rain.
Okay, I have a pretty deep one, but we'll rapid fire this one.
Okay.
What's your favorite Disney picture and why?
I love Disney as a whole.
You pick one.
Oh my god. Mulan? Mulan is part of Disney, right?
Okay.
Yeah, Mulan.
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 You love it.
I love it. I have no reason. I love it.
Okay.
Okay. One of the most memorable events on college.
It has to every event. No, like genuinely, I remember everything about every event. Be it Brandefine, be it Maya, like every single thing, be it any workshop of Hackerspace. Yeah, it's all cool. Apostrophe, all our events, the open mic.
Oh my god. I miss those open
Oh
mics.
my
man.
gosh, it
I
was
miss them. Yeah.
such a vibe.
Yeah. On note of Maya, if you could choose, which artist would you like for next year?
Oh, no, I don't really have anyone in particular. I mean, I've always been, but like, come on, Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, we saw the latest Mumbai uploaded.
Yeah, I did, and I am facing extreme FOMO. Come on, Ed Sheeran.
That might be
Taylor
a hard.
Swift, come on.
Those are hard, actually.
Definitely, I mean, let's not talk about it.
Yes. I think this needs to be Alright, that brings the rap to the rapid fire segment.
No, I have one more.
Oh, okay. She's got one more.
Okay, if you had an advice for 10-year-old Arushi, what would that be?
Don't think too much. I think as a kid, I always overthought. If I put this forward, what will people think? I think that's been the case with a lot of people, especially for me. Like, I'm a big time overthinker. But
My phone cover also says that.
professional overthinker. Yeah, so that was me. And not that I don't overthink now, but I think I've improved a lot. And yeah, that's
Just to
that.
be a little more carefree.
Yeah, be spontaneous, carefree. You live only once. It's the typical Gen Z taglines that you can find. But they make a lot of sense. They're actually pretty deep if you think about it.
True.
Yeah.
Alright, then I think that's a wrap.
Oh, perfect. I hope you liked it and I hope you guys enjoyed.
It was
so
awesome.
much fun.
I think we could talk for hours together.
I
but
swear, I mean,
we have it. Time crunch, sadly.
let's wrap this up and like have
Continue.
tea or something.
Yes,
Just
chalo.
For sure. So we'll call it a wrap from Alikya, Shreya, and Archie. We'll see you on the next podcast. Bye.
Bye.